welcome back to Elena's Bar, Low Impact Full Body Workouts. My name is Elena. Today I'm with Piki and with Melody again. And this is a long-awaited video because, guys, we've been creating so much content for you, so many classes, so many discussions, but we haven't come up with time to create a video where we are talking about ourselves a little bit. So today you're going to find out our fitness background, what kind of courses we've completed, and why we are here, why we want to share our knowledge with you, okay? And we're going to start with Piki. Piki, tell us a little bit about yourself. When did you start doing yoga, and why did you start it? And what courses you completed?
Yeah, the fitness part of yoga, Elena, it started like 7 years ago. But the yoga itself, journey, I have it all my life, I remember when I was 5 years old and my younger brother was 2.5 years old, and there were these yogis used to come in a town where I lived, and they were doing all those poses and everything, and they were showing us. I used to tell them, oh, my younger brother does it too, why he does all those poses, he can poo and pee at the same time too, so it was so funny, having all that exposure early in my life. And when I got older, I wanted to learn yoga, but with the parents' instructions, no, that's not for you. You have to go to school, you have to learn, you have to make money, you have to, whatever, their intentions were different than my intentions. But I have seen it all my life. And when I was like around 14, 15 years old, my grandparents moved with us, and my grandfather and I shared the room together, and he was a yogi. He had never done any asana in his life, but he was a yogi in all other aspects. He lived his life with all yamas and niyamas, and he ate at the right time. He ate the right food. He ate what my grandmother cooked. He never ate outside anything. That's how and he was always meditating. He was always in a state of devotion. He was always thinking about God and everything in his life. So he was a real yogi. So I had the chance to watch him all my life. And now at this point in my life, that's what I want to become. But we'll see how it goes, but the journey is going very well. And growing up all my life, when I came to America, I was in Columbus, Ohio, in the middle of everything. There was no yoga back then there, but now you can see in America or any other parts of the world. Even Saudi Arabia has a yoga day. Their yoga day is January 29th, and you can see now every country in the world does yoga. And we all should do yoga. Elena is a very good fitness instructor. Just ask her any questions you have. And since I started my fitness yoga 7 years ago, I've taken a lot of courses. I went to yoga studio. I've taken a lot of courses with so many different institutions and the teachers that I have almost around 3,000 hours of yoga, as a teacher training program. And not only the fitness part, I put myself into the Ayurveda and cooking part of yoga too, and the Jnana Yoga, which is the most important part. Why? Because unless you learn what yoga is, it's hard to implement. I'm not talking about asanas, but the Jnana Yoga is that who you are, where you came from, where you're going to go, what's your existence. If you look at yourself, myself, we are not this physical body, we are something else, which is our consciousness. We can bring it close to us, or it can travel the world, of its own, it's so easy. But our idea is to bring our consciousness where our physical body is, because on this planet, we are interacting in a physical form. Our body is interacting with other people physical, or we are dealing in money or food or currency or whatever we are doing in our life is all physical interactions. But we ourselves aren't physical, we are soul. So that's what the yoga is, and that's what I've learned, over last few years. It's a very recent thing for me,
So
and
what courses have you taken? I know that you've taken Hatha Ashtanga teacher
yeah,
training course with some of them we did together, and then
yeah,
we did the yoga therapy and Ayurveda with you.
yeah,
But
yeah.
aside
I
from
did,
that, you've
yeah.
continued with the
I,
culinary.
I did the Yin Yoga, a couple of those
Okay.
courses. Then I did physical therapy and Ayurveda together. We did that together,
Uh-huh.
and different forms uh, of Hatha and Ashtanga, and and after that we did couple of meditation courses on. Then we
Exactly.
did
Yeah, I
yoga
forgot about
nidra,
that.
we did it together, and different kind of meditations, not only yoga nidra but other forms of meditation too, we did that. And the whole idea is we have our mind and our body involved, wherever we went, because you can control your mind by using your body, or you can control your body by using your mind. Either way, they like travel together. Have you seen all the birds in the air? If the one bird moves, all of them move like a system. Same thing like fish in the water too. One moves, the other, all of a sudden they are in a rhythm. They are as if they know each other. They are all connecting and communicating with each other well. Same thing is here. If you control your mind, your body is with you, and when you control your body, your mind is with
Mine
you.
is with you.
Same thing,
Cool.
pranayama. We do that. It's the thing. What do? We're controlling our mind using our breath.
Yeah.
we yeah, so pranayama courses we took, we did so many things, and just we are here to show you what we know, and if you like, good. If not, you're not wasting your time, you learn something, yeah, you learn something, yeah.
Nice. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you. Okay, now let's move to Melody. Melody, I know you've been practicing yoga for over 15 years, you've told me once, and you are quite an accomplished yogi. She's pretty tough, guys. If you haven't tried her classes, I highly recommend to check her classes out. She's a fantastic yoga instructor and with a lot of experience, definitely. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what programs you've completed.
Well, yeah, I have my 200 and 300 hour yoga teacher certifications. So I guess my yoga started out. So when I was a kid, I rode my bike everywhere. And then I did a little bit of ballet when I was like, through first or second grade. I was like, this isn't for me. And then when I was pretty like junior high, I don't know, late elementary school, started doing horseback riding. And so I wasn't really involved in any other like, school sports or anything, but I always had like really well developed like lower body muscles. Um, and then when I got to college, like one of my friends actually, who was an athletic trainer, we were all just hanging out in the garage. It was like, nice, like late springtime evening. And so I was wearing like a sleeveless shirt, and like he just like looks at my shoulders and he's like, can you even lift your arms up? And I was like, yeah. And I like, I'm like, he's like, no, like lift it up. And I like try to get to like here, I'm just like shaking, and like I realize like, wow, even though I'm in like consider myself in pretty good shape, yeah, I guess that's not a move I've ever done, and I can't physically do it, and that's like a problem. And so I tried like one or two yoga classes like before, but yeah, it wasn't until I was kind of in my late teens, early 20s that I really got into going like multiple times a week. And at first, like I would just go there and I would do like active child's pose for like the whole time, and then I'd put my arms down when they were too tired. And people were like, who is this weirdo like showing up just, doing child's pose like for an hour, like a few times a week. But I mean, it did work. And like, I I could eventually like lift my arms up, and so that's like, okay, well now I got to work on down dog, which, you know, the teacher would be like, all right, now rest in down dog. It's like, no, this is like my peak pose of the evening. Like, so yeah, I mean, I just really like the first year of yoga, I would just like show up and kind of do my own thing, and not out of like disrespect for the teacher, but you know, it's like, you know, I need to start somewhere. I'm starting like a lot lower than a lot of y'all who've been coming to yoga for a while. But yeah, so I mean, it's been years, but I mean, yeah, now I can totally hold my arms above my head. But yeah, I've always been into, I guess, yeah, biology, biomechanics, all that. I graduated in 2008. Actually, I double majored in music and biology, because I don't know, I like both. I couldn't decide. So it's like, well, you know,
They're both very interesting.
like,
Yeah.
I can just kind of do what I want here. And yeah, I pretty much all of my undergrad classes, I was really opposed to plants. Like, I was just like, mammals are cool, like humans are cool. Anything that's like, the closer it is to a human, basically, the cooler it is. And that's all I wanted to study. And then afterwards, so I also later decided to get a postgraduate interpretive naturalist certification, which my friends tell me that sounds like naked hippies dancing around outside, which it's not. It's like, you know, if you go to like a park and there's like the ranger giving the tours, or like, you know, if you watch a David Attenborough documentary, that's what an interpretive naturalist, they're just like, oh, this is what these animals or like these plants are doing. And so I had to learn a bit about plants for that, and then I got really into plants too. So yeah, I just and really that does tie back into humans, because then you get into like herbalism and like nutrition, and it's like, man, you really got to know like a lot of different things about the world that you're in to, you know, kind of just make informed decisions for yourself, even, you know, in terms of like maintaining your own health. And then there's also just the dedication of like going through with those things, and also the just keeping up on like physical practices, so that, you know, as you get older, you don't just accept like, oh, my body's going to start hurting and falling apart. You're just on a constant. And that's a great thing about yoga, is like, it is adaptable. And there's been times where like, okay, I broke my toe and like have to have surgery, so I can still do yoga. Like, there's obviously certain things I need to modify and change, but you know, you can do chair yoga. There's plenty that you can do just like seated, where you're not putting weight on your, you know, pretty much anything you can modify, which is why yoga is just, yeah, a great thing. And kind of what I've chosen to pursue is yeah, it's kind of like my daily practice for, you know, you can do it inside. Like, I love long walks out in the desert, but you know, I don't always have the time to do that every day, or you know, the weather might not be, you know, right for that. Yeah, yoga is just a great thing. I'm glad I discovered it and stuck with it, even though it was difficult at first. So.
Tell us a little bit about the challenge that you were doing this month in November.
Yeah, so my sister signed me up. And it was basically just based like on attendance. Like, you get gold stars, you know, for every class that you went to. I can't remember the total. I know I averaged over one class a day. There was a few days where, like, you know, I usually take off one day a week of like, you know, heavy work, you know, like workouts it's going to make me sweat. Like, I'll do like some Yin Yoga, or just, you know, a real gentle movement. But you know, it's good to give your body a break every once in a while. But yeah, we did not win the challenge. There were some people who were, you know, just they got like, they were going to like, you know, on average 2 classes a day, you know, sometimes like 4, like
Wow.
yeah, it was really fun. It was power yoga, which, you know, I gotta say is probably my least favorite, I think, just because it's like difficult. It makes you sweat, and you're like, oh, I can't do another chaturanga, or like, I can't hold this chair for another second. And like, you just kind of, you know, physically have to work up to it, and like mentally just kind of, you know, push through it, like within safe limits. Obviously, you don't want to push yourself till you're injured and you have to take time off. But yeah, it was really fun. Definitely yeah, got my power yoga up a little more. So yeah, maybe we'll do some kind of a little more vigorous like power yoga type classes. Next month for our Tuesday, Thursday things. So.
Yeah, well, hopefully, are you done with it? So will we be back on the normal schedule?
I'm done with it now. So like I said, we did not win the challenge, but we had a fun time. So
that's good. And you've gotten stronger. Look, if you survived power yoga for a month,
yeah,
well done.
When I noticed, I went to my first yoga teacher ever, the gal I took some classes from when I was like still in high school, like 20 years ago, before I was really into yoga. But yeah, usually her classes are like pretty tough. And I went to one yesterday. I was like, I didn't even like break a sweat. And I was like, sweet, that means I'm like obviously getting fitter,
Yep.
So yeah, I need to like keep up on now, because I mean I don't want to like lose the strength and everything that I built up. So
yeah, you can share something you've learned on our Tuesdays and Thursdays classes at 9 a.m. PST Pacific time, guys. If you want to check those classes, you can sign up for them with the links in the description box. Cool. And we will show some of the classes for you so that you get the idea of what they are. They are obviously pretty challenging because we get into the arm balancing, we get into the inversions, we use some props with Melody, we often use a stool or a yoga chair, right? We do some chair yoga. We have a lot of fun together. I love the classes with you.
We'll get a little more power yoga in there coming up next month. Get ready for the new year. Power up for the new year with power yoga.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good slogan. Yeah.
Well, Elena, do you want to tell us a little bit about your background?
Oh gosh, guys, I don't know where to start from. Well, I was doing fitness my entire life. At the beginning, my parents signed me up for gymnastics. So when I was 7, I did gymnastics for a few years, and it wasn't anything serious, but I could do the regular gymnastic stuff like handstands and wheels and cartwheels, like coming in and coming out of the wheels. And I started swimming. So that was another few years, I would say, when I attended the swimming pool on a regular basis. And I had trouble jumping in with my nose into the water, so I didn't participate in any competitions there. So I was a pretty strong swimmer. Even my teacher was telling me that I could have taken part into some competitions. I had to learn how to jump with my nose down. And I was like, I don't want to do that. But I had very strong legs. I had pretty strong legs, and he was saying that I should pursue it. But then I also tried R&B and urban funk after one trip to the UK when I studied English, and I just went to the gym there, and they were running these funny classes, and with this auxiliary music, the crazy hip hop kind of R&B style music. And then I brought it home. I found a studio. There was only one studio in my hometown. I come from a very small town. It's hard to find things out there, but there are some really good teachers out there. And I found one girl who was teaching that similar kind of style. So I attended her classes for a few years. And then I moved to study in Prague, in the Czech Republic. I pursued my bachelor's degree in communications and mass media. Well, initially I studied business, then I switched to psychology. So I took a lot of psychology lessons because I really love psychology, But then somehow I switched to communications and mass media, and I completed that. Then I practiced Pilates. What did I do? Ballet. I did a lot of treadmill, and this is where I probably injured my knee, my left knee, and now I have to watch it really carefully. And what else did I do? I did salsa, so I started dancing salsa, and yeah, then I moved to Spain to get my master's degree. I have a master's degree in foreign trade, and I practiced their belly dance. I moved to the US when I met my husband, and I practiced ballet while I was in Spain, and then I was traveling back and forth between Russia and Spain. So I did some ballet classes in Russia as well with very strict Russian teachers, you know. Yeah, I just didn't do it for too long because again, my knee, I couldn't go too deep. So I usually modify ballet, and this is why I love bars. So here, when I moved to the US, I was trying to find ballet for adults, but it was hard in the neighborhood where we were living. So I went to the local gym. It was for 24-hour fitness. I think now they're closed down, and they were offering the classes of booty bar. This is when I started my journey with bar. I didn't realize how weak I actually was until I tried that class. So I was very consistent. I tried it every day for almost 6 years now. And I switched a couple of studios because we were moving around the area, and I tried other teachers' classes of bar, and I really, really love this form of exercise. It's so effective. It's so good for your entire body and to build the overall strength and flexibility. And it's easy to cross train with it. So you can do yoga, you can do Pilates, you can do bar, you can do cycling and other fitness activities with it. So it's not like it's super hard, but it's challenging. And then I built up some strength in my arms. My arms used to be very weak because throughout my music pathway, because I also play the piano, and I've been playing the piano since I was 6 years old. All of my music teachers were telling me that I shouldn't be exercising, I shouldn't be strengthening my fingers, because if I do, I have the shakiness when I'm playing the piano, and they didn't want that. And I think it was maybe because of the lack of the knowledge that they might have had, or some misinformation. Remember, I'm from a provincial town. It's hard to get good materials, and yeah, maybe they were taught that way too. So this is why they always kept telling me, don't exercise too much. And yeah, then when I started building the strengths in my arms, I realized that it actually helps me playing the piano better. My fingers move, they are stronger, you know, because holding those arm balancing in yoga really strengthens your fingers and your forearms. And like, wow, this really helps me. So I kept doing bar, and then with the lockdown, I decided to get certified because the studio was shut down. I really loved the studio that I was attending. The classes were great there, but I couldn't do it anymore. So I had to find the alternative, and I signed up for the bar teacher training. It was really tough because I was doing a lot of classes and I was teaching, and then when you are attending a class, especially a cardio class, it's completely different from teaching it. So I had to learn how to speak fast while doing the movements. It was quite a journey, guys, and I really love teaching bar, and it has become my true passion now. It's one of my favorite genres, and I'm actually getting recertified, or I upgraded to the special populations teacher, bar teacher training, so that I can teach people with injuries, older people, because those are the ones usually as we age, we tend to acquire certain problems in the body, right? I know that all fitness instructors prefer to teach healthy people, but it's not always the case. You're not going to get the clients, you know. Sometimes you have to accommodate and adjust, modify the class to fit the client's needs, and this is what I'm doing now. So I'm going through the training again, and then I'm completing my Pilates teacher training, and I did yoga teacher training, a bunch of them actually last year with Piquet. Some of them were like Ashtanga, and then we started all with 200 hours, and then we did 300 hours, and we got this Ashtanga, Hatha, Ayurveda, and yoga therapy. And I also did Yin Yoga. Yeah, I just did it in a different school. I completed the Yin Yoga, and then I bought a lot of books of yoga, you know. Every time I create something, I refer to the books, you know. So it's a constant journey, and I'm loving it. I love to share what I know with people. I think that it's a valuable resource, and now with social media and internet, you can exercise at home. Just get yourself a couple of tools. If you want to do bar, you can get a small Pilates ball, light hand weights under 3 pounds if you're just starting out, and a chair. You don't even need a bar. I bought this bar. It's been sitting in the garage for a few years because I haven't actually used it because I was going to the bar classes elsewhere. But then with the pandemic, I took it out of the garage because I thought, when I bought it, I thought I would practice ballet, and then organizing yourself and doing it by yourself is pretty challenging. You are not likely to do it unless you are a very determined and organized person by nature. Most people aren't, but if you happen to be that person, let us know, okay? So I didn't, and I always felt that exercising in a mini group is a great opportunity to reconnect with people and stay in touch and to get healthy together. So this is why Elena's bar came to life. I joined the yoga teacher training. This is where I met Piquet, and then we created Ashtanga Together community, and then Let's Meditate Together. Those were the first communities that we've established, and then we were meeting on a regular basis, a few times a week, just to practice teaching each other, and observing how do people react, getting better with our cues, and accommodating the class. But we are pretty healthy, so then I had a few in-person clients. It's a totally different experience when you teach in person versus online, because when you are in person, it's actually easier because you don't have to say a lot of things. You can just show people, and you can press on them in one way or the other way so that they get it, right? But online, it's I find it actually harder. So if you want to be a really good yoga teacher, learn how to teach online, because then you can do in person. If you can do online, you know how to set up the camera, you know how to talk to people, you know how to correct them while they are online. So you notice all of this minor deviations and everything. It really sparks your eye, and you spot on the smallest problems that people might have or experience, and then you try to anticipate them and tell them what to do. I find it's quite a challenging experience, but I love it. I love to teach online. Yeah, if people want to stay fit and healthy, attending the online classes, I'm really happy because it saves a lot of time. It saves a lot of money too. You don't have to spend money on gas filling up your car. You commute at the same time. The benefit of working out is you have a schedule, and you just show up for the class, and then you have fun together, Yeah, so that has been kind of my journey, but
Very good.
so we are all fitness
Yeah.
friends here. We all love to stay fit and healthy and enjoy working out. It was a fun video, guys. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. And I highly appreciate you more than you know. And we are going to get back with our schedule with Melody. Some of the classes are going to be challenging. This is why I encourage you to sign up for them, because YouTube can be hit and miss, so if you are new, start your journey with Hatha Yoga. It's probably the easiest style of yoga. It can be complicated, but you can modify and adjust it to your needs, and it creates a lot of movement in your body. Then if you are more experienced, do Ashtanga, give it a try. It's more like cardio with the breath and more vigorous kind of workout. And then you can also try out other classes that we offer here. It's Yin Yoga, that is more restorative, getting into your connective tissues, getting into your ligaments and joints, and it works on your mind too, so you're relaxing the entire body. And then we have Yoga Nidra, It's a form of guided meditation when you're just laying down and relaxing. So it's good to do it once a week. And I'm going to put a lot more classes out there. I actually have a few recordings that I'm going to make public so that you get the idea, okay? And then we have meditation. And what else? Oh, Yin and Yang is a pretty fun flow too, when you engage the muscles and then you stretch them out gently. And we have different styles of yoga. How many? 5 times a day, I think, and then 2 times it's Pilates, because I'm in process of completing my Pilates teacher training right now. So I'm doing both. I'm doing Barre for special populations and Pilates. I started Pilates last year. I really wanted to do all of the low impact full body workouts. Yeah, like eating an elephant here. And I couldn't do it, like physically it was too much, and also mentally, because anatomy, the way they present it is quite different, you know, for all of the for yoga. I mean, it's very moving, and you can take a lot of knowledge from one style and apply it on a different style, but it's still a lot of brain work, a lot of studying that needs to be done, and a lot of processing of information. So yeah, it's quite challenging. So now I'm doing that. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. This is what we wanted to share with you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you find it informative and interesting, please give us a like and subscribe so you don't miss on the upcoming videos and workouts. And we'll be back on track with Melody starting this week, right, Melody? On Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. Yeah, you will torture me, I will torture you.
Sounds good.
Good. So show me some of that power yoga. I'm so excited about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
should be fun.
Yeah.
Pikia will teach us how to cook. We'll do more classes with Pikia about cooking and some recipes, really easy recipes. I watched a few videos and he's fantastic. And I really enjoyed those classes. And you can stop the tutorial throughout the process when you're doing it and finish the food. He's also good at teaching Yin, so we'll be back on track with those classes as well on the weekends, right, Pikia?
Yeah.
Cool. That's the plan, guys. See you soon. And thank you, Pikia. Thank you, Melody,
Thank
for
you.
joining me today. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day, everyone.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.